whispers of futures drifting in flight. Mankind's dream on the edge of a star, searching for answers we look from afar. Through the darkness, a call from Mars, echoes of hope and the promise of stars. UFOs above, shining so true, guiding our way as we break through. Future is waiting, take a bold stand. Mankind united, together we land. Rolling through space, we are not alone. Mapping the cosmos where wild hearts roam. From the blue planet we reach for the skies, with the pulse of the universe in our eyes. Into the void where the wild dreams sway, chasing the night into a brand new day. UFOs above, shining so true, guiding our way as we break through. Future is waiting, take a bold stand. Mankind united, together we land.
That's a good trailer, that, isn't it?
I love that opening, man. Can you? I just want to listen to that song all the time.
Do you want that song?
Yeah, I do.
I've made that song. I made it on AI. It took about maybe half an hour to make.
That's pretty cool. I just want to
give you the copy.
I want to drive and jam to it. That's really cool, man. Send me the track.
It actually goes on and on and on for like 3 minutes. It actually sings different things. I'll download it after and send it to you.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll give it. And if anybody else is wanting that song, hit me up, message me, and I'll give you full permission to use it on your show. You don't need to. The thing about me is, I mean, obviously I've got it as my intro, and I also got another one as my outro. But listen, guys, you are welcome to use my music anywhere. Yeah, I mean, sweet. Make the world a better place, as one would say. So, how are you, Tim, tonight? How are you feeling after your deathly?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's been a long week. I was sick as a dog for 7 days, and so I've been in bed every day, and I've kind of like been reborn, I guess you'd say. I had to stop thinking, and I had to start listening, because I guess the universe is trying to get my attention. And so I'm well. I ordered antibiotics and steroids. I just took the steroids. I didn't do the antibiotics. Not a big pill medicine freak.
Do you not need to get a prescription for a doctor before you take the antibiotics? Because over here you can't get antibiotics unless.
No, it was prescription. We did a show last Saturday, and then Saturday night I went down a dark hole, and then on Monday I called my doctor, and they sent me a prescription on Wednesday, but I never started it. And I've been eating a lot of garlic, and
that's really good. A Southern Max I take,
garlic I think has pulled me through it, but the steroids have made my voice deeper.
You sound like you get that kind of right radio host kind of vibe. You sound like John Story from Coast to Coast.
I'm screaming at my kids a little more. I'm just a little more irritable, but I'm in a good place right now.
I'd just like to say to some people in the chat, Jesus, I can't pronounce it tonight. Julie, welcome. Lawrence, welcome. Big 1-1, welcome, my friend. We've got Denise in the room, welcome. But we've also got a lot of other people watching us through. Good God, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations we're going out to tonight. So we've got lots of more people. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Around the world.
And we're also going out to your Facebook page also too. Please check that out, guys. You don't want to miss that. I'll post the links below this.
Don't forget us on Out There. Welcome to all the people from Out There.
It's a good site. It's a very good site that you have got. So, extraterrestrial. Did you see that? This is what I find funny about NASA. I had to bring this up tonight. Did you see NASA going on about how they see that in a distant planet, what's it, something like 5 billion miles away, they can see the city lights on this distant planet,
Yeah.
but they can't go back to the moon.
It's swamp gas, I guess.
It must be.
No, they're seeing city lights, and I saw, I just don't know what to believe from anyone anymore. So
I don't believe a lot of stuff now.
but I wouldn't doubt it. I don't. I take everything with a grain of salt, but I'll listen to anything. I would love for that to happen. I'm sure it is.
I'm sure there probably is. I mean, there's probably extraterrestrials out there right now doing their own podcast. There's probably strange looking beings right now with big heads and wee heads and stuff like that. And they're doing this podcast and they're saying, I wonder if there's a strange planet out there, you know. I wonder what's all happening on that planet right now. I wonder what strange things they're talking about. We've just had an election over here and it was crazy and stuff. I wonder if they're having the same type of thing.
I don't know. I think many civilizations of aliens have discovered us, but did a little research and went, nah.
They seen TikTok.
not right now. Yeah. You know, that's a bad area. That's a bad neighborhood. We're gonna just keep going.
It makes you wonder how many have came to your planet and thought, oh, look at that beautiful blue marble. It's just so beautiful, isn't it? Well, let's see if we can pick up any communications here.
Right. Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if we're the white trash of the galaxy?
God. Yeah. I think we are. To be honest with you, I think we are.
The garbage.
The trash of the garbage of the galaxy, because I know that I've heard from the people that say they talk to aliens and stuff like that were the most, I wouldn't say hated, but were annoying. I do think we are annoying. And let's face it, I mean, God, I suppose there's other worlds out there too that are backwards. You know what I mean? There is
sure.
There's worlds meant to be out there. You ever watch that guy? Is he called Bashar?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? He says he goes into this weird trance and he talks
Hi, Christine.
It was, hey, Christine, good to see you. You know what I'm talking about? It's that Balti that guys, like Bashar. And he was the one I was watching. Look, I've met a lot of people that say they're in communication with extraterrestrials, right? Some of them I believe 100%, right? Because they have got a good backside to them. But then there's I don't know, there's just, you might be, yes, you know, did you see what he said about your presidential election?
All right. On behalf of America, I'd like to apologize for what you guys are having to endure right now. It's a tragic mess. And I apologize. It's normally not like this. It's not this bad, but Lord have mercy on our planet.
I know. I watched it, right? And the woman asked him, he says, what do you think's going to happen? Who do you think's going to win?
There's no telling what'll happen because I've seen everything, and knowing that anything can happen, you can't predict anything right now. All you're going to do is wake up tomorrow and see what's going to happen because you can't plan it. You can't predict it. You can't foresee it. Just stay tuned and enjoy the show because anything can happen.
I'm going to say that. Yeah, you're right, Tim. I mean, look, it's like that person in the chat there says, Torpez, I'll bring up your question there for you. We do not have to travel far to meet the aliens or see their technology.
No, they're here.
We don't.
They're here.
They've been here before we were here.
Yeah, they're with us. They're all around us. They're underground. They're in the ocean. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. How far do you want to go down that rabbit hole? Because I've sat next to a hybrid, and my wife was pregnant, and we were at the OBGYN, and there was a lady sitting next to me, and I looked over, and she told me, not with her mouth, but with a voice I heard, she goes, "It's okay. No need, no need to be worried. I know that you're aware." And I'm like, okay, I'm all good. And I sent back, I'm good. You know, I'm not a threat. I just thank you for identifying yourself to me. And my wife is looking at me. And so I kind of look over and I told my wife, I said, honey, she said, what? I said, look at the girl over there. She said, okay. I said, she's an alien. And my wife went, for a second, she went a little, and then I'm like, look at her, and she looked over at her again, and then she looked at me, and she's like,
yeah.
And then after the whole ordeal was, we just let it go, and that was the end of that, and we let it go. And then after we got out to the car and we got into the car, I said, do you believe that? And she goes, honey, that was really, really weird. She goes, she goes, I know I make fun of you, and I know, you talk about all this stuff, but she goes, that was really weird. She did not look human. She looked humanoid. I'm like, I know, honey. She was totally, and her eyes, her pupils were, her retinas were black. And she was absolutely gorgeous. I think she was sort of Asian, sort of dark complected. I couldn't really put a race on her, but I'm like, that was an alien. She told me it was okay. Don't be frightened. And I told her I was good. And we sat there and communicated for a minute, and then it all just kind of like went away. But no, I don't care what people think. If you think I'm crazy, they're here. They're hybrids. They're all around us. They're above us. They're everywhere. And there's so many dimensions, and they come and go out of different portals and dimensions. And I'm good with that, man. I'm happy with it. I'm not scared of it. I'm good.
I do think that they are here to try and help us, right?
Yeah, they are. They're here to guide and help us.
Yes, they're here to guide. And that's what a lot of these UFO people seem to misunderstand. This is a thing that annoys me at the core. They think the aliens are going to land and give us everything, right? They're going to use all their technology. That's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. They'll show up one day. You'll probably sit down and talk to them, but they're not going to give us all the technologies. We have to learn for ourselves. Maybe 300 years from now, we might be like them, and we might start traveling the universe and helping other worlds, right? But not right now. We have to get our own problems fixed. We really do.
I think it's sort of like a programmed maintenance matrix.
Oh yeah,
it's here's what I like to call it: complexicated.
Yeah,
it's complicated and it's complex, and there's no other word for it. It's complexicated. So anytime anyone wants to talk about the UFO and the alien subject, I just say, hey, I'll talk to you about it, but it's very complexicated. You're gonna love and hate what I have to tell you.
It's quite interesting what you say about the universe being like an AI program kind of simulation kind of thing. But what happens if it is that? What happens if it is that? Because there is even extraterrestrials that have spoke about, hey, Jenny, what about actually extraterrestrials that have actually stated, yeah, it could be. But come on, it's like, it could be, but it could just be so advanced. What happens if when you die, right, you wake up in some room somewhere, right, and can you hear that? That's weird, that.
I know, and until it happens, you're not going to understand or believe it, but it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
That's weird, that, because I'm getting weird kind of like feedback, and I don't usually get it when I use the old iPad Pro and stuff like that. That's weird. But it's, what happens if death is actually just waking up somewhere else? Because that's what it is.
Here's the thing. I've gotten to the point in my life, I'll be 60 in 2 months. Mm-hmm. Okay. On my birthday, we'll have a new president. 60 years old, we'll have January 20th, we'll have a new president. And it's going to go one way or the other. It's going to go ape shit crazy.
Yep.
Or it's going to go ape shit crazy.
Yeah.
So the worst I can do is worry about it, because worry is not going to get me anywhere. Thank God I have become spiritual. If I wasn't spiritual, I wouldn't be able to handle this. And a lot of people are going to lose their shit.
Yeah. I'm going to say, right, I've been watching a lot of, like, now when you say conspiracy, everybody's heard the Edgar Cayce, right? And everybody's heard the Nostradamus, right?
Right.
Have you ever heard of the book, The Adventures of Baron Trump?
Of what?
Yeah. The Adventures of Baron Trump.
No.
It was a book that was written, oh my God, this is going back a long before they existed. They two, well, whoever's running right now in office right? Before he existed, right? This is going back a long time, right?
Okay.
And there's this book written, and the boy, there's big. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. The boy that does the adventures, right? Is actually called Barn. Strangely enough, the person that's running for president, son, is called
Baron.
Barn.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Now, the book was written. I can't remember exactly when the book was written, but it was written. I've actually got it, I think, in my Amazon account. I've actually got it. I was going to buy it. But it says he will be the last president of the Republic.
I've heard a lot of theories about Barron. Barron is going to be very involved in our upcoming future. It's going to be.
That's Lockhart.
There it is.
Lockwood. Big. What was when was it printed? When was the book printed? I can't remember. I would need to go to my Amazon account. I'm using the iPad that I've got it on. And there's a video on YouTube. Go and watch it, guys, because there's this woman. She reads out the book, and she's really good with it, actually. And I'm going to say right now, it's spooky. It's meant to be like in the Middle Ages. It's based, but he's the last like
1800. I think it was a late 1800s, but whatever.
Yeah, and it's so damn accurate.
It's sort of like Nostradamus prediction, but it's more like a diary or more like a documentation of thoughts and stuff. It comes off kind of weird, but it's interesting. But I'm telling you, man, you guys keep your eyes on Baron Chomp. He's in the background, but there's something special about that guy.
Oh, he's just a young kid, right? I don't know what age he is right now. I think he's about what, 16?
He just graduated NYU. He just graduated, and he's like 6'7", and the fact that he's so mysterious is what intrigues me, because you don't hear anything about him, which is I think perfect.
You don't.
Nothing.
And was that some people think? Was that some people Argusol might be related to Saint Germain? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's good to know what you know, but what you don't doesn't hurt you. So become spiritual, don't worry, and hang along for the ride. I'm just saying.
And I'm trying to find it here, but it'll no look it up for me. That's so weird, that.
I'm not here to try to convince anyone. I'm just here to say, hey, man, put your seatbelt on, get spiritual, learn what you can, enjoy the ride.
I'm going to say this. I think me, you, Tim, everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching this transmission, or anybody that's listening to this transmission after the uploads tonight, I'm going to say this. We are in a very special time.
We are. And I've said it many times. I'm so glad to be alive right now because, like I said many times before, and I'll repeat it today, from my birth to my death in this lifetime, my generation, my lifespan is going to witness more than the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years before me. Nobody's going to experience, no human being is going to experience what we are going to experience in this lifespan. We've gone from a ball and fire, a wheel and fire, to finally a microwave.
Yeah.
And look where we are now. And we have technology that's still 170 years so advanced that we're not ready for it. And the information download that my generation is going to experience is more than any other generation in the entire history of the planet. I can't say that because we could be millions and millions and millions of years old. So
of course we could. I mean, here's
the recorded history. Let's just say that recorded history.
We're going to see eventually people on Mars. we're eventually going to see tourism in space. Let's face it, they're doing it right now. We're going to see extraterrestrials visiting this Earth, and we're actually going to see them. We know they've been here for a while. They've been always here, but they're going to be revealed to public. We are going to see the reveal, right? We're going to see that. We're going to see it. We'll probably see them walking. We're going to see Elon Musk robots stomping about. We're going to see Elon Musk robots walking about everywhere, helping stuff. We're going to see the fall and the rise of empires.
Right.
And
in a very short span.
In a very short space of time. And
we saw the TV and we saw the Jetsons, and we're like, the Jetsons, that'll never happen. And we are so far past the Jetsons, it's unbelievable. Joe Rogan was on with Elon Musk the other day, and he said, are we going to Mars? Are we doing the Mars thing? And Elon sat there for a minute, and he couldn't, he had to really, really think about what he could say and what he shouldn't say. I mean, you could see the little hamster on the wheel and about how much he wanted to give up. But his answer was not only prophetic, but it's happening. It's already happening.
I bet you there's people walking on Mars in 6 years. No, even know.
There's just so much that we don't even need to know right now.
Yeah.
We're not prepared for it. But you can tell by looking into his eyes, he's like, nah, you guys aren't ready for this. You're not.
Yeah.
But it's there. It's totally there.
Contact on the film.
And I can't believe I get to witness all this stuff in my lifespan. Man, that's just awesome.
It makes you wonder, do you know what I'm going to find interesting? See in the future when we're long gone, right? I'm going to say, say 100 years from now, right? Me, you, we'll be in our next lives, or we'll be floating about somewhere doing something, right? We'll be guides or something like that, right? But it'll be quite interesting to see how history portrays the people that had UFO experiences, because they'll have aliens walking around about them. They'll know aliens. They'll probably travel to different worlds and stuff like that. I wonder if they'll watch anything like this back. Hello, future. I'm just saying that now because it makes you wonder if they'll look back to old footage and they'll be like, look, they're talking about the UFO incident where the two guys get abducted, or look, Travis Walton. Right, let's face that. Right, 100 years from now, extraterrestrials and humans will be sitting down and they'll be like, right, let's make a program about the Travis Walton thing and what really happened, because we actually have records.
The story will still be interesting. My encounter that I've documented and put out there everywhere. That encounter, people in the far future will be going back and saying, "Hey, man, check this out."
Yeah, and
they're going to watch that show of my encounter and my experience and be amazed by how ignorant, I wouldn't say ignorant, but how surprised and how fascinated we were with it. And it's going to be interesting then. Hey, look, the people back then, it's just like the kid that picks up the rotary phone and they say, hey, use this, and the kid can't use it. I mean, I watch those things and it's fascinating and it amazes me. I love watching. It's entertainment. And I think that's what this is going to be entertainment. But people are going to go, dude, they were so freaking close.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah. And it says, only if we, and they'll say the word, only if we had a time machine. Look, I'm going to say with time travel, it can happen. It can be created, but it's very dangerous, because I've watched a lot of stuff about it and stuff like that. I don't know if you know about this, Tim, but see, if you go back in time, you don't actually come back to the same point as you left. It's very complicated. I don't know.
Complicated.
It's very complex.
It's hard to do.
It's extraterrestrial. I watched this thing. It was actually extraterrestrials that explained that, because they've actually tried it, and it goes totally away every time. So if, like, say for instance, I wanted to go back to 1981 when I was born, right, and see my birth, right, I would go back and I would see my birth. And I'd be, oh, this is brilliant. Look at that. There I am. There I am in my wee pram there, sitting in the hospital and stuff like that. And I thought, right, I better go back into the future. So I'd go back into the future. I'd make it into the future. I'd be like, oh, this is great, but it wouldn't be my reality. I'd create a new reality. And that's the problem with time travel. I think it's very
sporadic and it's not perfected. There's a guy that said he time traveled and he went back to the 1800s, and then when he was coming back, he made a mistake and he came back to the 70s, and he had a digital recording from a phone, and he was showing the streets that he was on, and it was the old Woolworths, and it was everything. He even walked into a restaurant and videotaped the menu, and he turned it to himself and said, "See, I'm here right now." And I'm like, dude, how do you do that? That's incredible. That's just I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, was it fake? I mean, what if it wasn't?
There's a lot of weird stuff happening right now.
And if he turned that in or said anything about it, he'd be censored immediately. So I don't know. It's something to think about, though.
I'm going to say this. Remember that incident? Was it in Florida with the alien was at the mall? You know that thing? You know that?
Yeah.
What's your opinion in that? I mean, a lot of people have said, and I seen something on TV, and it was all hushed up again that they were after someone that actually had the footage, and he's disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, there were over 300 eyewitnesses.
Yeah,
and to this day, it's been trashed. I mean, there's no, and the one in Vegas where the thing came down and they saw the guys in the backyard. Do I believe it happened? Yeah. Do I believe we'll find out anything about it? No, not at all.
No, in our lifetime. It will come out one day. It will come out in some rusty, old, dusty cabinet somewhere. Yeah.
It'll be whistleblowers.
Yeah.
And years from now.
The future. Yeah. The future.
Yeah.
When we're old pensioners.
But I totally believe all that crap happened. Yeah. Well, because mine happened.
See, yours is a very interesting story. And I think that happening in that passenger plane, it makes you wonder, all the pilots that are out there bound to witness some amount of crazy things in their life. Yeah, think about it. I mean, why they witness a lot of UFO stuff, but it makes you wonder what else they witness. I wonder if there's any pilots out there that have seen other strange things.
Oh, of course. That was the beginning of it for me. I mean, it's amusing now. I mean, I have this little app on my phone it's called Enigma. It shows you all the UFO.
I've got that too, yeah.
All right, so you can pull it up at like real time right now and see 20 seconds ago, and they show footage and stories. And there's constant. I mean, if you look at yourself where you are on the map in the United States, it's like thousands and thousands of reports around you every minute of every day. Yeah. And it's all about, is it necessary? It's there, but does it matter? It really, at this point, it really doesn't matter because it's a question that has no answer, that can't be answered. And so you have to just take it with a grain of salt and go on and just accept it for what it is.
I'm going to say this now, that Enigma is really good because I've got it in Scotland. So obviously Scotland's quite a small place and there's wee dots everywhere, and you click on the dots and it'll actually bring up photos, it'll bring up video. And one night I spent about 2 hours just lying in my bed watching all the videos. And I actually went to Texas because I thought, I wonder how many UFOs are in Texas. And I was dotted. I was in all these places, in New York City, I was away to bloody California. I spent about 2 hours just looking at all these videos.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. I don't know about the people in the chat, but I live in quite a rural place. The villages maybe get 200 people, right? But there's no much light pollution. So at night I can walk into my back garden and I can see the Milky Way. I can see all the star systems and stuff like that. One night you see the satellites going over, and you see the satellites, and I've seen Elon Musk's, which you got Starlink going over and stuff like that. There was one night I was watching, I thought, look at that satellite there, look at that satellite, and it was traveling. And I'm like, look at that, imagine what that must be going at some speed, and it just stopped. And I was like, satellites don't just stop. And then it went the opposite way. It just went the opposite way, and I thought to myself, what was that I just witnessed? Because I'll tell you something right now, I don't think it was human. I don't. No. But it was probably something secret space program or something like that. But
so if anybody out there hasn't seen this stuff and they don't, I mean, I know a lot of people need to see it with their own eyes before they believe it, but there is a group of people that have documentation that is undeniable. I mean, undeniable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not a word. Undeniable.
Mm.
It's called CE5. I'm a member of CE5.
I've got the CI5 app tail on my phone.
And I became a member. I joined the group, and I contacted Rupert, and he said, "Yeah, you can become a host." And I had to go through some training courses and everything, and so I finally became a member. If you want to see for yourself without having seen for yourself, just go investigate CE5 and watch the stuff that they see every single night. Every single night. If you want to see stuff that will blow your mind, that is not edited, it's not scripted, there's no CGI. These are just normal people out there welcoming the visitors and getting responses, and it is fantastic. So it's like people come up to me and say, "Oh, so I saw this thing in the sky and it had 3 dots on it." That doesn't do anything for me anymore. Yeah. I mean, that's completely useless to me. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm good for you, and if it's your first time and if you had a chance to experience it and become spiritual, then awesome. I hope that helped you. But at this point, it's just, for me, it's nothing.
Oh, it's crazy. The amount of things that's up there. People they don't realize what's actually about. They don't realize.
So in 95, when I saw the UFO, I started joining all these MUFON, and I started going to radio shows, and I started doing all this stuff because I wanted everybody to know what I saw, even though I was scared about talking about it. And I felt like that was my mission, was to tell the world of what happened, my experience. Knowing what I know now, I'm not trying to preach to anyone. If somebody wants to know about my experience, I'd be glad to share it with them. But people are just not ready for what I've been through.
I mean, I've heard the record,
and it may not do any good for me to tell them about what I've been through, because I don't want to confuse and hang people up on their way to becoming. I don't want to get in the way of their path to become spiritual. And that could screw it up if you listen to someone like that. Yeah. So I don't do that anymore.
I'm just going to say to some new people in the chat, Madam Maru's House of Cards, welcome and thank you.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome, new person.
How's everyone doing on this Saturday day? Because it's evening and morning and night all over the world.
Because your clocks will go back. 1 hour. Is it tonight?
Spring forward, fall back tonight.
That's it, because it happened to us last Saturday. But here, I've just had an idea to do something. I wonder if Joey and you would be interested in doing it. Why don't we do a show one night, right, and invite some aliens on?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Invite them into the chat. We'll invite aliens in. And if he's listening right now, because I know he's are. Because you like to look upon us.
Absolutely.
As little people and stuff like that. I'll create a live and for like a Christmas special or something like that.
Sure.
And you can come in and you can talk in the chat to us humans. I think that would be quite a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because some of them would be interested. Some of them obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, some of them might not be. What do you think, chat? What do you think if we should invite?
Yeah, you guys let us know. Also, I mean, we've talked about all this all night, but let's hear some of your guys's. We were going to talk about really conspiracies and the election and all that stuff. Does anybody have any wild stories or predictions or insights or if anybody has any of those, we'd love to hear them, because that's what we're talking about today.
I've got a weird one. I think the world's going to dramatically change soon. And I see all these
Aquarius.
Wars, I see all these wars and stuff like that. I think they're all connected. Do you know that? I think, have you ever heard, is it Agenda? You heard of the Agenda Act? Is it 2030? You know, where they want to reduce the population of the Earth, but they also want to bring in a greener. It makes you wonder, because you've got, like, I'm not naming the places, like, you know what's going on all around the world. It makes you wonder if they want that to happen. They want someone to press the button.
Yeah. It's not about a button anymore, though. You know?
It's not a button really anymore. No, it's all like automated.
That's 1950 sci-fi. There's no button anymore. There's no codes. There's no briefcase. There's sorry.
Right.
No one person is in charge. It's humorous now, but I mean, you got to have structure, right? I mean, you can't live without structure and organization.
Purely honest with you, I don't think that the president of the United States is actually in charge. I think they're just like a puppet. To be honest with you, I think they're a puppet. It's the same with you. So the British Prime Minister's a puppet, the French Prime President's a puppet, the Australian President's a puppet. All the world leaders are puppets.
Yeah.
And a big stage.
It's a machine.
And that's what it is. Yes. And I think there is a group of people somewhere out there that have been trying to run the world for a very long time. And they've created wars in the past, like World War I, World War II, and they're looking for ways to create like World War III. They're looking for ways to start these things. You know, what's that in the chat? I believe that, there we go, Julie. So, Julie, I believe, it's Papa Joe.
Looky there, man.
What
the heck? How you doing, brother?
Doing good.
Let's welcome Papa Joe, everyone.
A couple days ago.
Welcome, Papa Joe. Welcome to come in. Thanks for coming, man. I was actually wondering what had happened to you. I thought the aliens had got you.
Yeah.
You've already been live. I thought we were starting at 4.
Well, the time changed.
Yes, time changed. Remember.
Oh, no, I don't. We don't do that in Arizona.
Yeah, they don't do that in Arizona. Everywhere in the world except Arizona. That's right. That's what I thought happened.
All right. I didn't even think about that.
May I say that?
Obviously, it's
you're back
late. So good thing I jumped on early, according to myself, you know.
So if anybody doesn't know, this is my sidekick, Papa Joey. We're from out there with Uncle Tim and Papa Joey, and I knew this time thing was gonna probably pay.
I gotta get my world.
Yeah. Get you a drink. Get you. There you go.
Take your time. We've got lots of time tonight. Lots of time.
Kind of.
I feel like I'm on a psychedelic trip right now. Know that, do they kind of things? But what I'm trying to say is, like, it is very psychedelic, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I've missed out on the conversation so far. So, you know,
we've just been talking. We started about conspiracies, and you know, we have this election coming up, and it's to laugh at. It's funny. There's no way to predict what's going to happen, and we were talking about you know, how much people believe, what they don't want to believe, and how far you think somebody should believe, and it's like it doesn't really matter. But you can read through the comments and see some of the.
Well, actually,
I got to bring them up so I can see where we are at here.
So
tell you what, give me a second because
go through it.
I was popping on to say hey before the show. I got to turn off the music out here. I don't know if you can hear it.
Just stay live for extra long. We're fine.
So I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there's Julie saying, I believe that something dramatic is going to happen in 2027.
27 is a very common, predictable. 27 has come up a lot of times in predictions. I don't know why, but 27 I think is going to be substantial.
How do we come up with this same story? How have so many people came to the same conclusions about shadow governments, aliens?
History repeats itself.
History repeats itself. Look, I watched a Native American Indian chief do a talk one day, and he talked about, and this is on YouTube, you can find it, and he talked about the mud people, and he talked about how many civilizations have been on there. We are the third civilization. So there was a first civilization, the mud people. They were the first, and they were wiped out. Then there was another civilization. Then they were wiped out.
There's been many.
We're the third. Look,
many.
we could be wiped out within 100, even within 1,000 years. The stuff on this planet would be gone. Yes, there'd be artifacts buried below the surface
ice,
of the earth,
flood, fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're finding stuff from the last civilization. Look at the H-stones in Teotihuacan
right.
and all of the things that we're finding. The 750 million year old hammer in Texas. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And the computer at the bottom of the ocean that so it's important to destroy all that stuff so that we can start over. However, we're not perfect, and some of that stuff is being found and being discovered, and that tells us that no, this is not the 15th rodeo.
Yeah. And if we don't watch what we're doing, there'll be a fourth civilization. And if they don't watch what they're doing, there'll be a fifth civilization.
And we only need to discover just enough of it to learn.
Yeah.
Not to change us, but just to give us a heads up.
I do think, I'm going to say this to now, I do think that the governments of the world, especially the United States, have in their possession technology from the past civilizations. Because
in the future, yeah.
Let's look at Iraq. Let's look at Iraq when they invaded Iraq, right? Let's I mean, they went straight to some of those temple sites where it was meant to be Pescatarian and stuff like that, where the ancient technology was. I mean, they went straight there. The US military went straight there along with the British military and the French and the Australians. Why not try and liberate the cities first? No. Let's go to the ancient artifact sites and start digging.
There are multiple soldiers that have disappeared in caves that we still can't talk about right now.
Yeah, I know.
And that's understandable, but they've seen things that...
Well, yeah, that can't get out.
It doesn't need to get out. We're not ready for it.
That's why it can't get out.
That's a good thing.
We're not ready for it.
See, like I said, when I first saw this, I wanted everyone to believe me. Now I don't want just everybody to know about this stuff because it's not beneficial.
Yeah.
For us to know everything.
Right here, here's one I've wanted to ask you for a long time. And Joey, this is perfect for you. What's your opinion, Joey, and yours, Tim, on the hollow earth theory?
Hollow Earth? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it exists?
The what?
The hollow earth.
The hollow earth theory.
Hollow Earth.
It was Admiral Byrd.
Yeah.
It was Admiral Byrd that
Well,
went to his Antarctic and stuff like that. Kind of.
Yeah, I don't know how hollow, but I mean, I definitely believe that. Yeah, there's another civilization.
There's hidden Earth.
You know,
yes.
Not that far below the surface. You know.
Well,
I mean, considering how thick the Earth is,
yeah.
You know.
It's just to me, it's same as the moon theory.
Yeah.
Something on there.
You can go as far as you want with it, or you can go as far as you want to go with it, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read something, and I wish I could find it. I was going to look for it when I thought I had time to look for it, but
time zones.
Basically, the whole idea is, I mean, we know how our computers work today. You know, and when you delete something off your computer, it's really not totally gone.
It goes away.
It's still there.
You know, maybe you can't find it right away. It's
if you look up above you, it's in that little cloud.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And so, taking that premise, you know, that things that are in that realm don't really go away. It was talking about how Greys, you know, are really bio robots.
Yeah.
So they're biological, just like we are, but they were made. And if we go further back, we were made. And so once we're gone or dead, we're really not totally gone. There's that other part of us that will live in that other dimension. And that's how they created it. You know, that's how the whole thing was designed. So whatever we find on that other side will be super interesting. What do you think of that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It makes you wonder, right? We leave, right? I live till I'm 125, right? That's a long shot. But anyway, I live to an old age, right? I go to bed one night, I die, and I go to the afterlife, right? How do we not know that if you die in the afterlife, you don't go somewhere else? That's the final end? Because there could be like an afterlife for an afterlife. We don't know, because there's meant to be like an infinite possible realities, isn't there?
But Chris,
infinite.
What you learn teaches you and gives you experience. What you don't learn is not important.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter if you know or not.
No.
The more you know, the more you experience, the more you come back, the more you're spiritual, the more you grow. And some people are going to grow more than others, and some people aren't going to grow at all. But it's a recycle thing that happens, and we all are going to achieve different levels and be at different dimensions and everything. And it really, really doesn't matter if the person next to you is on the same level or not.
Exactly. We're here to learn. Look, there's my dog barking. They're letting fire. We're getting close to this November the 5th year, Guy Fawkes night. Everybody's setting off the fireworks, and she barks every time one goes off. But look, we're here to learn. And what we don't learn in this lifetime, we'll learn in the next lifetime.
Exactly.
And what we don't learn in that lifetime, we'll learn in the next lifetime. And everybody's like, well, says, well, but when I die, I want to go to the afterlife. And that's it, I'm not coming back. But that doesn't work like that. Because you'll go to the afterlife and you'll learn everything. You will know absolutely everything. The creation of the universe, you will know. You'll be the most brilliant person because you'll know everything, right? You're going to get bored.
Yeah.
Because you'll go everywhere, you'll see everything as a spirit, you'll know everything, and you've got to be sitting there thinking, "This is getting a bit boring." And
it's really not important if the person standing next to you is on the same level or not. That's not what this experience is about. This is experience.
I don't think that once we're gone and we see the other side or the other dimension,
I don't think we get all of it right.
Yeah, we're not going to get all of it right then. I think we would continue to grow
to learn until you achieve the final. But like,
well, no one knows that, but I mean, that's what we can hope for.
So this universe putting me and Papa Joey together is not because of any one thing. Well, it is because of one thing. It's not because, I mean, I don't have any friends like Joey. I've never, he was in a band.
Really, I didn't know
we don't have a whole lot in common. We don't. We're different people.
Other than our interest.
But other than our programming, our interest, we're very. He's got what I need. I've got what he needs intellectually, and we learn from each other. And this is something I can't learn from anybody else. And he verifies and confirms the things that I'm trying to negotiate in my head, and he is my confirmation. And that's why they say you have a soulmate. It's not so much a soulmate, it is a confirmation partner. When you find somebody that you sync up with, you're kind of like being there because you're confirming each other.
Well, then it becomes synergistic.
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, exactly. And in different dimensions, you partner with different people that are on different levels. Yeah. And thank God I got to partner with Joey on this level. I mean, I'm so thankful that I got to.
That's the thing. You're meant. This is. See, you probably met Joey in the afterlife, and your name was probably Joey. It was probably something else, right?
Could have been.
And the two of you sat down and decided.
It was baby Joey.
No telling.
No telling. Elizabeth, for all you can, you could have been a woman for all you know. You don't know.
Dude, our souls could have been hooked up 1,000 years ago, and we're like, "Hey, God, how are you doing, man?" Because we feel that connection, and we just feel that urge to bond with each other, and it could be, hey, like seeing an old friend.
We're connected right now.
We are.
Yes,
we're connected.
I'm drinking.
Tup's Brewery is
connection. That's connection juice.
Connection juice.
No, I'm drinking the old
There's a
Coca-Cola.
connection liquid that has to be activated.
No, this Tupps Brewery is close
Yeah.
to where he lives, so it's
We're connected.
Yeah, we're connected right there.
But you get these friends and they last for a period of time and all of a sudden they're just gone.
I know.
But while they were there, they were like had to be there and they were good to be there. But then when they were gone, you just don't miss them because it was only supposed to be there for. It was programmed to happen for that period of time.
Exactly.
I think our energy is connected in the prior life.
We're helping each other without knowing it.
Look, the two of you came here with a mission to obviously try and spread the truth and do your shows and do things in your life, and you'll probably come back again.
And to meet Chris.
And
There's a reason you're here right now. Absolutely. There is a reason we all met. There's a reason we're doing this right now. And it's programmed. It's out of our control, or it would not be happening because I couldn't have predicted this 5 years ago. There's no way. I'd be talking to people all over the world from a guy hosting a show in Scotland. There's no way I could have predicted. I didn't want it. I wasn't looking for it. I never would have imagined it. So
we would have to have resisted the powers that be to make it not happen. But
exactly.
That's not who we are. So
So when you listen and you accept and you're waiting for the information to come to you, this is what happens. You're rewarded with this. And I love it.
I think we've all got a purpose. And when it's our time, God forbid, I hope our day live to quite an old age, and we go back and then we all meet up again out there and we're like, right, what do you want to do this time? And then we'll plan our lives, we'll plan what we're going to do, we'll plan what we're going to do. Maybe your mission, Tim, Joey, me, other people.
It's a mission.
Maybe it's your mission to come to this world and do what we're doing now. Maybe we've been doing it for thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
We've been
enjoy it while it lasts, man.
We've been spreading the truth. And that little bit of truth, maybe somebody watching this will think, oh, Christ, they're talking about aliens, loaded rubbish and stuff like that, and they'll walk away, right? But then there'll be one person that thinks, Ken, something, they guys are right. And they'll start listening, and it'll trigger something in somebody. And that's why we were sitting here.
And it'll grow and it'll make you what you're supposed to be. So enjoy every second of it while it lasts, because it could be gone like that. Yeah. So enjoy it, learn from it, prosper, educate yourself, get all of the goodness out of it, and protect it and cherish it while it's here. Because when it's not here, you're going to know, you're going to realize. See, some people say you don't realize what you had until it's gone. Oh, yeah, you do. I do. I realize everything I have right now. I don't need for it to be gone for me to realize what I have. Yeah. And I'm to that point then. I'm a spiritual person that I believe that everything I get blessed with every day is a gift. And Chris is a gift. And everybody in my life is a gift. And I'm not looking for anything. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not hunting for anything. I'm just waiting to receive all my gifts. And I've received so many gifts, and I love the gifts I've gotten. That's just that way out there.
Aye, exactly. Look, one day we'll meet up again and we'll plan our next life.
I hope
and
so.
Then that'll go on and on and on until we're ready to whatever happens after that, until we're to ascend or whatever. I mean, I watched a lot of that. Is it Dolores Cameron? You ken who I'm talking about? She's passed away now. She was a kind of medium. She did a lot of the kind of medium stuff, and she talks about that. She talks about what happens when you die. I mean, I've talked to a lot of psychics and that, and they've told me the exact same thing. You die, you go to this place where you can recover, right? You recover this place. Then you go for your life review. You get your life review, and where you've got to experience what all the bad things you've done to people, but all the good things that you've done to people, right?
Yeah, let's review. And then you review, and then you go back and you do it again.
Yes, and then you go and you meet up with all your friends again, and you're like, right, guys.
In different forms.
What do you want to do this time? And you do it all over again, and you do it all over again, until you reach, like, what do you call it? The level. The level. And then I think you get a choice.
I don't know what the name of that is, but it's a spiritual level. It's called, I think it's euphoria, basically.
Yeah.
Spiritual euphoria.
Yeah. And I think
that sounds like the top level.
I'm darn near there.
Glow sticks and all that, having discos every night. I don't know if people still have discos now, man. You up at the depth there.
I'm wearing a false tan right now, so I moved back to Arizona, but this is a false tan, so
that ain't
I'll
right.
change it.
Oh,
I want to
there
look
you go.
more like you guys.
I'm as white as you can get because I live in Scotland and the sun comes out of a cloud once every 2 weeks or something like that. What's that? The strange thing in the sky.
All right, Joey, what's going to happen in 4 days? Tell us. Without using names, what do you think is going to happen in 4 days?
Chaos.
Yeah, we already said, we covered that. We said things are going to burn.
I mean, doesn't matter who wins.
No,
it's going to be,
things are going to burn.
It's going to be chaos.
There's going to be fire.
You really think it will get to that? Do you think?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that?
I mean, look, it just takes for a cop to beat somebody, and
yeah,
and you have fires.
This is more than a reason. This is so much more than a reason.
Do you know what I've noticed? And I don't know if it's like they're trying to program people. And I'm not going to mention the incident. Remember the last election? Something happened at a building in Washington. Remember that? Remember loads of people went to this building and then they blamed that person for it, but it wasn't really him that did it. Right. Do you know that I've been watching like BBC News? I can mention that. That's all they play. They play that at the start of every single news. They play that video of all the protesters marching up and getting in, smashing stuff, and they've been playing it non-stop for the last 2 months.
I know.
Every news article on BBC News, they play that. And it's as if it's like pre-programming people to go and do that.
Yeah. I don't want to scare anybody, but I'm saying right now, have a little extra water, toilet paper, and gas.
Yeah.
Just don't buy all the toilet paper.
Yeah, don't buy all of it. Just buy like a month's worth, maybe 30 days worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, shit's gonna burn. Dude, anybody that tells you that's not possible is out of their minds. Shit's gonna burn.
Yeah, I'm really confused all of a sudden because it's Saturday here. Is it Sunday there?
Saturday.
Chris?
Saturday.
Are you? Then how the time hasn't changed yet?
It changes tonight on UTC at Greenwich time at 0000 Greenwich time tonight.
Yes. It changes last Saturday into Sunday. It changed for me.
Because I don't see that change in the US until tomorrow.
See
that
people
in America it's different because they did it for the farmers because they planted seed. It's just all made up shit.
It is.
So the farmers could have extra time to plant seed and gather their harvest, and that's why we have that. If you read the Fall Farmers Almanac, it'll tell you why we needed the daylight savings time. It's all because of agriculture, but they don't recognize that over in Scotland.
No, we plant our seeds in the night. The tractors, I got a farm behind me. They go at night and plant their seeds. I don't know how they stay it. I see like tractors going up and doing it at night. I don't do it all night.
Yeah. Well, it's genetically modified now, so it doesn't need sun.
I've got one for you. Right? What's your opinion, right, Joey? What is your opinion, Joey, Tim, on the Mandela effect?
I've experienced it, so
because I've got different memories. I can remember I was a what would you call it, Monopoly fanatic. I loved my Monopoly, right? And I can remember the Monopoly man with a monocle. I can tell you that right now. He had a monocle. He definitely had a
monocle. Doesn't have a monocle?
No, he doesn't have a monocle. And they say he never had a monocle. Look it up. He had a monocle.
Wow. It's totally in effect, except for the people that can't dream. Mm-hmm. If you're not a dreamer, if you don't dream, it's probably not happened to you.
Then you're not plugged into the mainframe, huh?
Right.
And I noticed something the other day there, and somebody said to me, and I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. Right, everybody kens the YMCA. Ken the YMCA? You used to sing in a band. I'm not saying that you did the YMCA. But what I'm saying is the YMCA. How many members is there at the YMCA?
The village people, the Indian, the construction, the policemen,
There's 5, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Indian, the construction, the policeman,
The cowboy.
the cowboy, Indian, police, construction, fireman. No, construction. What's the other one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cowboy, Indian, police, construction.
Cowboy, police, construction. I was a phone guy because he had the yellow hat on.
That was construction.
In my timeline, I remember the Indian, the
biker. Yeah, the biker dude.
The police.
Oh, yeah.
The biker.
The construction.
Mr. Leather. Yeah.
But there's another one now from the original video. And
which one's not in?
You know how the very original video where they're singing the YMCA, there's the film it in the street, and it was like the 1970s going into the 80s. Kind of what I'm talking about. And it's got the YMCA in the top of the building, and then they're all dancing about. There's a new person arrived, and I've never seen him before in my hood. He's a soldier. Yes.
A soldier?
I don't remember seeing a soldier.
Let me look this up for you. People in the chat will probably see it. It's
Marine. It was a Marine.
I don't remember seeing a Marine in there, though.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got added.
I'll just mute this for a second.
The Marine got added, I think. The war guy. You know, like the little war figures.
Yes, it looks like a wee plastic soldier. But
yeah.
Let's see if I can find a picture. Yeah, I was going to look this up, but I was like, so right, here we go. Here's the first picture, right? So we've got, there he's there in the middle, right? So see him with his green top on and his green hat on. He shouldn't exist because I can't remember him.
So you got 6 there.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was only 5. There was only 5 members. Now, I'm not playing the video so I don't get copyrighted struck here, but you'll see them.
This is the original YMCA video?
That's the original YMCA video. And see how he's standing at the very end there with his soldier uniform, American Army, that's what it was meant to be. And I can tell you right now, I can only remember 5. But
that's all
yeah.
That's weird.
Yep. Mystery. It's so weird. If you look it up, the Village People Mandela effect, everybody is talking about it so much right now. About how there wasn't a soldier there.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
It's definitely a glitch in the Matrix. But let's see if I can click this one when people are going like, where did that guy come from? Where did that guy come from? Because he did not exist. And now he does.
I could have for a day or two.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I definitely think there's something going on. See?
I don't know, man.
Yes, he wasn't there first. It's weird. It's just something is so strange that's going on. I've noticed, I can clearly remember Nelson Mandela. What happened to him?
He was overrun, imprisoned.
Yeah. Did he get out?
He got out.
Many years.
Because in my timeline, he died in prison. I remember it.
He died in prison?
Well, that's what I remember. I can remember it. I was only a young kid at the time.
I remember where it started, but then all of a sudden he got out of prison.
He was released. He was released.
It's the same as Star Wars. C-3PO. What color was he?
Gold.
You sure?
Absolutely. Well, it depends on what movie. He got polished for one of the movies. He kind of went to a silver color, but the first one was the gold. Empire Strikes Back. He was gold.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's now gold with a silver leg.
Well, I think they put a coat of platinum on him.
No, seemingly people researched this and.
But you won't see the same Star Wars movie with him in a different color. You'll see a different Star Wars movie with a different color, but you won't see
all the Star Wars movies now have all got him. Even the old original ones have got him with a silver leg. Yeah. I'm telling you, they're doing something with that CERN or whatever it is. They're fiddling with something. It's weird because you're a car enthusiast. What's the here's another one. What's the
R2D2?
What's the Ford badge? What's the Ford badge? The Ford badge got the wee pigtail at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I can't understand. What are you saying?
The Ford badge, does it have the little pigtail at the end?
What do you say, Joey?
Ford badge.
No. It doesn't have it anymore. It's the same with the Volkswagen badge. The Volkswagen badge.
Oh, the badge.
And then a W. But now the Volkswagen badge has got a line across it, and they've never changed it.
It's a VW now.
It's the same as the Volvo badge. That's changed too.
The Volt badge.
No, Volvo.
Badge.
Yeah,
Volvo.
it's changed too. I'm telling you, I definitely think they've been fiddling with the space-time continuum. I definitely think something weird is going on. There's some people remember it as silver leg, but some people remember it as all gold. But the Monopoly and the YMCA are the most fiddle ones. You know what I mean? I remember the YMCA. No, that I was into the YMCA saying that. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is that there was only 5. There was only 5.
Well, I mean, sure, it could have changed and they added or took away a person depending on at the time what the political vibe was. It could have been not appropriate. I mean, when the war was going on and after the war, I mean, it could have changed several times because of, just society. I mean, if you research it, I'm sure they came and went because of several different reasons.
Do you remember the Monopoly man with a monocle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I
remember. Never ever had a monocle with a monocle. That's what everybody says now.
So you're saying he doesn't wear one now?
No, he doesn't wear one now.
And they never had.
So he got the LASIK surgery
in the one eye. Yeah.
Well, bless his heart.
It's so mad, and I remember the Monopoly man with a monocle because he always had the monocle because that's what it was meant to be, a rich banker.
But technology's changed. He got LASIK.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, he got it corrected.
See, I mean, I'll show you pictures here in a minute. Right.
Yeah, I got to see that.
I think he got it. I think he got the surgery.
The Monopoly man has never been changed ever in the history of the game,
except for the monocle.
Except for the monocle, he used to have a monocle, but now he doesn't have a monocle.
Oh, that's not the same. Yeah, that's the new woke. Yeah, that's not the same guy. He got LASIK.
Mm.
He got surgery.
But it's so weird. It's like, I mean, that I definitely think.
Got to go on.
Does this bother you?
What's weird?
It's weird, but there's somebody's in rendition it, right? That's what he used to look like, right? So this is on a site today with the.
He's running in a different direction. No,
he's got the monocle. He's got the monocle there with that in, right? But that's somebody that's did that. Somebody's added the monocle, right? Because he's never, ever in his life had the monocle.
Wow.
So you got to go on eBay and see if you can find an original game.
Yeah, that's the new, that last one, because I've got Monopoly Go on my app now, and no, those characters are, none of them are the same.
Oh no, the ones in the app in the computer game.
The car is different. Totally different. The dog's different. Yeah.
The Monopoly man has never changed. See, today,
except for the LASIK.
Except for the LASIK, exactly. Except for his, I wonder how much he paid for that insurance.
Well, I don't know. Let's just Google it. Say, hey, what year did the Monopoly man get LASIK surgery?
Exactly. I can see Papa Joe's eyes like that.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. So, all right, here I'll bring up one for you. This will blow your mind. Tell me your thoughts on deja vu. If you want to go down a hole,
that is weird because that's happened to me.
That's the weirdest thing not talked about on this planet. Nobody talks about deja vu.
There's been times that it happened.
There's no study on it.
It actually happened to me a month ago. I went up to the graveyard to check on the stone because I was tidying it up. I do it every 2 months. I check like animals having to get into the grave and like destroyed stuff and that. And I got out of my car and I seen a red car sitting because there's always other people in the graveyard at the same time as me for some weird reason. And I seen a red car and the woman said hello. And I thought to myself, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And I've never seen her before in my life.
It's amazing how many people don't know what deja vu is. And then when it's not talked about, it's kind of like a taboo. There's never been a research into it.
Here's a Monopoly guy from the original board game.
Mm-hmm.
If it'll focus. But
yeah,
he doesn't have a monocle in that one.
No, it's on an iPhone. There's no original there. Nothing's original on
That's
iPhone.
From eBay. It's from eBay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's on eBay for sale.
1923? 43?
Worth a lot of money now, what I've been told. See, the very first original Monopoly Man board is worth a lot of money. If you've got one.
Yeah, 1935.
35. Split there difference.
See, this is why you shouldn't throw things away. This is why people shouldn't throw things away.
I've got stuff in the garage, and it's like I got it when I was a baby. Some of it is like still in the original shrink wrap. It was different back then. And I look it up on eBay, and I'm thinking, oh, this must be worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I look it up, and it's like $23 on eBay.
Yeah, that's once everybody caught on, Yeah. Then all of a sudden, a lot of that obscure stuff started to be more plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's interesting when you talk about that, when you're talking about deja vu, because I've had a few times where I'm like, I've done this before.
Some people don't know what that is.
It's like,
I want to explain to everybody because there'll be people in the chat wondering what deja vu is.
How many people know what deja vu is? It's funny. I've actually talked to people like, I don't even know what that means. I've heard it all my life.
Beard of cards. So they had it last week and they're driving their car. Denise knows what it is. There's been times I've been doing stuff and I've been like, I've done this before, and it's exactly
and you knew for a few seconds it even kept going. Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wait a minute, I've been here before, and then
then you try to go, and then I remember the next thought after that, or what happened right after that,
and you think it's over, or you're experiencing it, and then it keeps going, and it happens a few more seconds, and it's like, that's wild.
And then all of a sudden it turns off, and you can't remember what
you can't remember. You can never remember what it was about. What was your last deja vu about? Nobody can tell you that.
The honest thing.
Have you ever? I've had this happen to me with deja vu. I've been in a place that I've never ever been before, right? And I've been driving along, and I've been going to a specific place, right? And I've been following the sat nav, and I remember in my head going round the corner, and when I go round the corner, there's two white vans sitting in a black car, right? And it pops into my head, and I've never been there before. When I turned around the corner, what's sitting? Two white vans in a black car.
Yeah,
because I've seen it before.
So the deja vu can last for a very short time, or it can last for a period of time, and you can actually know what's going to happen next and see what happens next. Yeah. And when it starts and when it stops is not controllable.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Well, when I think I can control it is when I lose it.
Yeah, if you try,
I really think I've got the next thing that's going to happen, I know what it is. And then
if you sit there and don't do anything, it'll keep going. But the minute you try to dissect it, you lose it.
What's that big says there? Is that you're also no my mediumship skills are no like I can talk to the dead more than I could. No man. It doesn't see everybody thinks that mediums can like see the future and stuff like that. Some of them can, but you get different type of psychics and mediums. Some of them see like dead people that come and give you messages to give you when you're doing like readings, right? But you get other types of people that can see the future, that can tell you, oh, don't go down the park today. There's got to be a lightning storm. You've got to get hit with lightning and stuff like that. And they don't go, and then there's a lightning storm kind of thing. I mean, that's that type of mediumship, you know. But there's different types of that kind of thing. It's mad. It is mad. It's scary in a way. It is scary.
So actually, I do remember a deja vu. I walked into a hotel in Romania, in Bucharest, Romania, and I was a flight attendant. So I'm like walking down a door, and I went around a corner. And when I went around the corner, I knew what was around the corner before I saw it.
Yeah.
And then as I saw it, I'm like, oh my God. So evidently I've been here before, right? But no, I hadn't been there before. And so it kind of like went away for a second. And then all of a sudden, the lady walked up and asked me for a drink. And I'm like, wow, you did that. I've already, and you can't freak her out by going, oh my God, I can't, you've done this before. They're not going to understand it.
Yeah.
But it continued. It kind of went away and then it continued. And it's like right after that happened, I knew exactly what was going to happen next. And I'm like, no, there's no way. And it did. And I'm like, blew my mind. So you can't like document it. You can't tell anyone. Yeah. You can't rationalize it. You can't do anything. All you can do is just experience it and go, wow. But then you don't come home and tell anyone about it. You don't write it down. You don't.
No, you don't. But
it's flat crazy.
So there's Denise right there. Do you think when you experience deja vu and ultimate lives are coming together, it makes you wonder that? Because somewhere out there right now, there's a guy in Scotland in a different reality called Chris Moll, doing this right now, except he's got a full head of hair along the top of job. We've got long wavy hair, you know, and the wind's blowing.
Oh yeah, did you notice I got rid of mine?
Yeah, again? What happened, man?
I hate hair.
Oh,
every time I try to grow it back, I decide I hate it.
So. Well, it was sexy how you had it like spiked up like that. I wish I could do that.
Infinite possible realities where we're actually sitting here, we're millionaires, we've got beautiful flowing hair, you know. But no.
Now, here's something to think about. If you go back to deja vu, and if we're all plugged into a mainframe computer and we think about AI, what about predictive text? What if we're plugged into something that we're only really, our deja vu is only from a few seconds in the future because our mind is doing the predictive text.
Exactly. Idea. But it's all about it's all about when it happens and how it happens. When it happens. Yeah. You can't control when it happens.
No, you can't.
But can you?
Well, I think it's maybe your mind drifts in different directions all the time, you know, so you might just plug into that one part that's got this is what's going to happen next.
Right.
And it fills in that part of your future. And then all of a sudden it happens. And then you go, shit. And then you lose it because you said shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shocked you.
You shocked yourself out of the program or out of the code that you were in.
But there's been people that have had they've been driving along and they've seen this is going down the road to that movie, what you call it, the one where they see the crash and everybody gets killed, Final Destination. But that's actually happened where people have seen a car pull out, crash, there's explosions and they've pulled over at the side of the road and then the exact things happened. So that's just something that's built into us. It's because everybody's got the psychic. Let's face it, everybody's psychic. Some people are unaware of it and they don't know how to use it. And
It's
then there's some
it's
people-
all about how you access it, whether you can
Yes.
access it, whether you want to access it, because you can deny it or you can accept it, and you can want to learn it, or you can just be done with it. But yeah, it's there, and once you experience it, then you know what dimension means.
Yeah.
I mean, people they hear these dimensions and portals and parallel dimensions and other what's it called?
Alter reality.
Parallel universes.
Yeah.
Unless you've experienced deja vu, you really can't understand what. I don't think you can have a concept of what dimension or a parallel universe means.
Yeah.
Because in this universe, it happened this way, and I saw it happening.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I'm not able to go on remembering it tells me I was only here for a short time, and now it's gone.
And you don't have control.
So what really happened, though? I mean, yeah.
What was if
it's complicated.
In this reality, you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you have like a weird feeling that something bad's going to happen. But then it leaves you, because I've had that weird feeling and nothing happens. But what happens if in a different reality that's something bad that happens actually happens?
Yeah, but like Nostradamus, he was able to have this déjà vu and document it.
Scottish Outlook. My partner can predict people's pregnancies and a lot of other things. Her dreams can give her signs that they tells, and soon enough it happens. Ooh.
Yeah,
that's a scary gift to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or an inconvenient gift to have
until you learn how to master it or control it. See, Scotty has that,
right? I mean, there's a lot of
my stepdad Scotty has that
goes along with that gift. You know,
my dad told me who I was in a previous life. I don't know which one, but he knew that I was a Canadian Air Force pilot, and I was called the Grave Digger, and I had little coffins on my cockpit for all the shoot downs I had, and he had my name, and he had a whole bunch of information to give me, but he could only remember it once, because the last time I asked him, he's like, I couldn't tell you now. But from what I remembered, I went and researched it, and my gosh, there was a pilot from the Canadian Air Force in 1853 or 1870, 18 something, 19. I don't know when it was.
It was a pilot in the 19s.
It was in early 1900s, and he was a colonel, and he had the most shoot downs of anyone in the Canadian Air Force, and his nickname was the Grave Digger. And I'm like,
cool.
I don't want to know anything else right now. Just okay, I believe it, but I'm not prepared for all that.
It's quite interesting, because it's like Denise in the chat, and if we free will, can we not change the reality? I mean, it makes you wonder, but there could be infinite amounts of reality. Yeah. Infinite amounts of reality right now, because just doing this kind of thing, you're creating another reality. Mm-hmm. It's mad, you know. It really is mad. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
I think it's a thin line between what's real and what's not. I mean, reality and
it is weird. I'm going to give you that right now. It's weird.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I remember watching something that was an afterlife thing. It was on TV, and it was about the wee boy. And he said it was only something like 3. He just only started speaking, and he started telling his dad about flying airplanes.
Yes.
And how he was killed. And they take him to a big air museum. And there was one of the Corsairs. It was a Corsair, American fighter, kind of the ones that folded the wings that sat up on the, what do you call it, the aircraft carrier. And he pointed at it and he says, I was killed in one of those.
Yes.
And he knew everything about the aircraft.
Yes.
He was only 4 years old, and he knew absolutely everything about that aircraft.
He talked to his dad, and he told him about instrumentation back then that they had, navigational equipment they had, and talked about ailerons and flaps and rudders, and he knew he described how everything worked. Yeah, that's amazing. Just like the kid that plays the piano, like the orchestra. I mean, the concert pianist. They're 3 or 4, and they're playing like.
It's like kids that are basically, they're born, and when they're 4 or 5 years old, they can play a perfect song. They can play multiple songs on the piano, and they're experts at it. Or they're like, they know everything. They know absolute. They're geniuses. They can give you equations to like atoms and other kind of things. It's mad. I definitely think that they're sent here. I definitely think that they come here for a reason. See these children that are gifted like that. I think they're meant to come here deliberately.
Well, there's a lady that devoted her entire adulthood to the Egyptian pyramids, and she is an archaeologist. And when she was born and a little girl, she would tell her mom, I was a queen, or I was one of the figures in Egypt. And she talked about it all her life, and she ended up going over to Egypt, and she was able to decipher and read the hieroglyphs and translate. And she walked into buildings, and she said, yeah, I've been here before. This is this is this and this. And that is now in history books because of what she's revealed. And they have found things. She goes, if you dig over there, there's a thing there where this is where this was. And sure enough, they've done it. They have come back, and she knew all of the science. She could write in Egyptian hieroglyphs. Yeah. And so she devoted her whole adulthood. She's still over there, I think. And
I definitely I think people come back for a reason. I definitely think that.
Yeah.
I definitely think we come back for a reason. And I do think people do remember. It's like they say babies remember who they were, and then they can't talk. They can't talk, so they can't tell you, can they? They just go blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You don't understand them, right? And that's why they say they can see spirits in that, because the spirits are coming to visit them to make sure that they're okay and stuff. But then they get to a certain point in their age where they start to talk. And when they start to talk, they can't remember.
It's all up here. It's a matter of accessing it and using it. And I believe you can teach yourself to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe
actually have a cousin. I have a cousin that swears that he can remember before he even turned 1 year old. Remembers a big orange or red ball or something that someone was playing in his face with.
Yeah.
And he couldn't talk or do any crazy stuff other than try to grab the ball, but he remembers it. That's nuts.
Yeah.
See, I've tell you about the memory of my birth. I've got that in my head, and I've talked to a lot of like hypnotherapists about this, and I've talked to a lot of like psychics and mediums about this. And everyone have said to me that they've went like, that was you remembered. You were meant to remember that. And see, the new I can play that back in my head perfectly to my birth.
So what
exactly. Well, I was born. I can remember being born.
Yeah. Okay, so you're special.
I think that's what's made me the way I am, because I've always had that fascination with the spirit world and stuff like that, because I've always had that memory. I used to say to my mom, my dad, and everybody was around about me in the blah, just making stuff up, but that memory has stuck with me for my entire life. And then I was speaking to the doctor one day that actually delivered me, and he just went white, because I'll tell you really quickly. I remember this tunnel of white light. Imagine this beautiful tunnel of white light, right? And it's so bright, it's like the whiteness, right? But it doesn't hurt your eyes. And I was walking down this tunnel, but I was an adult. I was an adult, but I couldn't see what I looked like, right? There was people to my left, there was people to the right, there was women, there was men, but you couldn't tell what they looked like. You ever seen that film Cocoon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Well.
You see how they come out and they're all just pure white. That's what they were like, right? So I was walking down, and I don't know what made. I actually had a discussion with a medium about this, and I don't know what stopped me, but I stopped and I looked back, and there was hundreds of people waving at me, just waving at me. And in the background, you could see like an ancient city and beautiful mountains in the distance, right? I shit you not. This is my memory. And all of a sudden, the hand went on and they pulled me around, and there was this other character, tall. It pulled me around and said to me, "Don't, you have to come." So I started walking again. And then all of a sudden, I was in this room, and it had green tiles. You know, it was like a medical room, and the floor were green tiles, the walls were green tiles, the ceiling was green tiles. You know, the hospitals are like, they're kind of like, this hospital was built in the I don't know, in the 1800s or something like that, right? And there was 3 nurses and a doctor, right? So anyway, long story short, about maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago, I met the doctor that delivered me. I met him, and he said, "Oh, okay, I remember delivering you." And this was that. And I says, "Wait, curiosity, I was born in the William Smiley Hospital in Lanark. It's a building. It's actually been knocked down. The hospital's been knocked down now. It got knocked down a year after I was born. Right? So I'd be 1 year old when it got knocked down. Right? So it was old. It was hard. Right? And I was talking to him. I says, I ken this is going to sound stupid. So I tell him this story, and he just looked at me anyway. And I told him what the layout of the room was. And he says, yes, it had green tiles with the red cement running about the green tiles. And I can always remember getting weighed by the nurse.
Wow.
And then I can remember looking at my mum. And then it goes blank for there. And then after that, I can maybe remember since I was 3 or 2, and I was playing with my donkey trucks or whatever they're called, donkey trucks and stuff like that at the back and stuff like that. But I can remember that. And I spoke to a really good friend. Lisa actually spoke to this, and I actually spoke to other people about this. And psychics have all told me, she says, was you walking to be reborn. And everybody that was waving at you was family and friends and people that you knew was waving at you. And you were meant to remember that so as you would tell other people that. And that's what they tell us.
Wow. That's amazing.
That really explain a lot about why you have the gifts you have.
That's why we're all here today. We each have that experience.
I'm going to say this right now. You ever seen that film When Dreams May Come? When Scotty dies and he goes to heaven. When I looked back, that film doesn't even touch what the scenery I could see.
Wow.
So you imagine the biggest mountains, bigger than the Lord of the Rings mountain in the distance, right?
Yeah, everything meant something.
Beautiful as city. Imagine, see the city, it looked so ancient. There was a big waterfall, and it looked so ancient. It looked like as if it had been there for eternity.
Wow.
Right? But you couldn't make who MD was, but they were all waving. And see, the person that touched me and pulled me around, really, really tall. Really tall. I mean, taller than anybody else. And it makes me wonder if that was a guide. Like I'm not saying an angel or whatever they are. That's what I think that's what that was. And it was like, he started to look round and they've turned me round and they've started to tell me to go.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's
and I
crazy.
think it's the same when you go back. You walk back through another tunnel just exactly the same as that. And they're all waiting on you again. See, to them, and it's quite interesting this because time doesn't exist in the afterlife. So you've walked through there, they've all waved at you, you've had your, let's say, 100 years on the earth, right? You come back, and to them, only a minute has passed. So you've went in there, and then you've come back out.
It's the twinkling of an eye.
A twinkling of an eye. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You now know why I have certain powers with the cards and stuff.
And you know what religion teaches that? Being that I'm a recovering Mormon.
Really?
That's what Mormonism teaches. Yep.
I didn't kid that.
That we all live that way before we're born, and we'll join on the other side,
right?
Just like that. So that's crazy, but
yeah. Most religious hymns are about when we all gather up yonder, when we all meet again, when we all.
Yeah. See, isn't that interesting? Because they don't teach a pre-life, but they still sing about
afterlife.
And getting together again, like, you know, we were there once before, so that's always interested me.
Why?
The trends you'll see.
I mean, since I was raised that way, and
but we'll go back, and then we'll do that again. And I wonder if I'll look around again. Oh, I'll make you look around again.
Now that they don't
to do that again.
Do it again.
Aye, do it again, and then I'll be like, I'll be telling my story in 100, it'll be the year 3025 or something like that. I'll be like, oh, I remember what I'm doing this tunnel, and I'll look back and everybody was waving and stuff like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
I remember that hospital to a T, because I remember the three nurses and my mum, and I know exactly what she had on that day. She had on, like, you know how you get the cardigans, the ones that button open? She had a white one of them on. And I said to my mum about that. My mum's passed now, but she's probably still listening to me as I speak. But she's like, that's what I had on. That's what I did. And the doctor even went, how did you know that those tiles were green? And the reason being, the layout of the room, you see the birthing kind of chair thing that they sat in, right? The bed thing. And then they said there was like a sink. And then there was the scales. And then there was a door. And it was all red tiles. The room was completely red. Because a year after I was born, half of that hospital where I was born was knocked down. Some of it's been turned into flats now, but where I was born was knocked down. So there was no way I could have possibly have seen inside that hospital. I have drove past it a few times, but all it's there now is like a castle kind of turret, which is separate flats where people stay. And it's not as if they're going to leave that room tiled and that's somebody's kitchen, you know what I mean? Where people were born, because it wasn't people who were born. It wasn't just people who were born in there. People died in there. Oh yeah. See, here's another one for you, right? So, I've got a cottage hospital right next to my house, right? And this is spooky. This is down the spooky road, right? So this hospital was built in the 1900s, right? But the coal miners all paid for it for treatment. My auntie, she was born in a Pacific room at the hospital where all the children were born, right? When she got cancer about 4 years ago, right? Do you know what room she died in?
No way. No way.
She died in the same room she was born
No way. That's amazing.
When they were like, says, listen, we can look after her, but we've not got any space left, but we can put her into this room. Because it had 7 rooms where people went to die. Right, so there was like a lottery going, right? So they put her in the same room that she was born in.
That's amazing. Never heard anything like that before in my life. Wow.
So there you go. It's weird. It's just weird. It's weird because everybody, like Scottish Outlook, because he'll know because he's actually from my village, and it's the cottage hospital out there, and they've got separate bedrooms round about, and there's like a wee outside garden. Wow. She was born in that room. You walk in the door, you walk straight up, and then you turn right, I think it is. You walk down, you turn left, and then it was before the wee garden in the centre. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms, right? But private rooms for people to go into. And the room that she was put in, now bear this in mind, there was 5 of them were empty at the time. She was put in the same room. She died in the same room that she was born in.
Wow.
She was born in what year was that? 1938 or something like that. And she was born in that room, and she died in 2018 in that room.
Wow.
Talking about.
Yeah. Full circle is big.
Yeah, full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah, Allison had 3 kids, 2 and 4 years apart, born in the same hospital room with the same doctor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was crazy, but that has
actually my family, not the first child, but the 3 after. So my brother, me, and my younger sister were all delivered by the same doctor.
Right.
But then
that's Scottish Outlook. That's a part of it. He actually lives next door to me, and
that hospital was
it's mad.
That's crazy, man. That's
it's like, it's weird because I know a lot of people that have died in the same place. I mean, they've all died in the same place. I know people that have died. There's a hospital down the road from me. It's called Wisha General, right? And when I go for appointments and stuff to get my health things done and that, I avoid that room. With the plague.
It's a portal.
Multiple grandmothers and aunties and uncles have all died in the same room.
It's a portal.
I would stay out of that room, I think.
I would investigate that room.
She came into the world for you.
I'd get all my equipment and head right for that room right now.
See, there you go. See, there's Scottish Outlook saying, a friend of mine was born and died in the same living room. His dad told me.
That's, I can see that.
I could give you another spooky story.
A lot of people were born at home.
Let's hear it, Chris.
Right, you'll like this because this was my dad. Right, my dad was Jesus. My dad was, he's doing the stairs actually playing his guitar. He's a musician like yourself there, Papa Joe. But he was in the Merchant Navy, right? And he was very, very, very close to his grandfather. It wasn't his real grandfather because his real grandfather actually got killed in a mining accident. But his grandmother married again. She met this guy, really nice old man. Anyway, when my dad joined the Merchant Navy, he was so proud of him because he was in World War I, and he bought him his uniform for the Merchant Navy because my dad was a steam turbine engineer in the engine rooms of the ships. And this is going back to the 1970s. So technology wasn't at its best then, communication-wise, right? So my dad left and he said, cheerio up his grandpa, my great-grandpa. And off he went. And he was sailing, I think it was sailing somewhere in India somewhere. I can't remember that it's prolific for near the dunes or something like that, somewhere in India, right? And he came inside ships of like crew quarters. So he had a room to himself because he was one of the engineers. There was 2 engineers on the ship. And he was lying in his bed sleeping. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. There was a weird light come into the room. And my dad went, oh, shut that door, because he thought it was one of his mates. He thought, because I've been up all night working in engines. Mm-hmm. No answer. So he turned round, and they're standing in front of him was his grandpa, just standing there. And he says, son, I'm sorry, but I have to go now. My dad's got a bit of white hair in his hair, right? That's for dinner. He says, I'm sorry, son, but I have to go now. I love you, right? Never thought anything about it. 7:30 in the morning, chap at his door. He was the captain. He says, listen, I need to talk to you. There's somebody on the phone for you. I'm sorry to tell you, but your grandpa passed away at 3 a.m. this morning.
When he appeared.
Yeah, when he appeared. We're sorry, but he passed away.
Yeah.
Just to tell you. And it was a radio communication that was sent across. And they just didn't have satellite phones and all that stuff. And there was a message that was sent. So, there you go.
Wow.
It came to say goodbye before crossing. It's mad, isn't it? It's you know.
Yeah, I've heard similar stories to that.
Yeah.
Too. So others having that same kind of experience. That's special. I mean, that's really cool.
Yep. Yeah, my son came and said goodbye to mom, to my wife after he passed, but it was a day or two later. He appeared at the end of the bed and said, I love you, Mom, and that changed her life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's I mean, I've had other experiences that I don't really talk about. I mean, I've had experience with my mother. I got a visitation from my mum, but I'm not going to talk about that here tonight. But I had an experience with my grandmother that I can't explain to this very day. It was just too real. And there was no way explaining it, the visitation that I got.
Yeah, see, I want to know how that whole Monopoly game works. When they can come back, how long they can come back, what they can do while they're there, who's in control of how that happens. It's amazing.
It's like let's take somebody that we all know. We've all had. Well, I know that Baba Joe's had an experience about him, and I've definitely had an experience with him. Is Mike?
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
I mean, I've had 2 visitations for him. 2.
Right.
The first one I think was a shock, and then the second one was kind of all right.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a scheduled thing, Tim, because it's. I mean, if their time doesn't exist on the other side, is it just? Is it a?
It's. I don't know how it's programmed. I don't know how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, is it just that your wires cross at the same time because of something you're doing in your head you're not aware of? I don't know.
Which way the wind's blowing, man. I wish I could. Yeah. Who knows?
Mike was always the prankster.
Yeah.
Mike was always the prankster. And that night
Mischievous.
he did that to me. I could have strangled him, and he knew that because he gave me such a fright. And the second time he came, he taken me somewhere. After the second time. And which I'm not talking about the now because it's still emotional. But the first time, I think he just did it for a joke. He just did it for it. I think that he did because he was laughing. He was smiling. He was laughing.
Yeah, that's the look.
Yeah. It's the look, Mike's look, and good on him. And wherever he is now, floating about haunting Zach Bagans because he didn't like Zach Bagans.
I hope he is. I really do.
I hope he is too, because I'll tell you something. Zach Bagans does his face to Annabelle is no face Mike the Naked.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh man.
Yeah, it was 2 years, right?
2 years. 2 years on Halloween Eve, yeah.
On Halloween Eve.
What a time to go. On Halloween Eve. I mean,
he planned that.
Yeah, he did plan that. But,
I mean,
we'll see him again.
That's a fitting day for him,
Yeah, it was his favourite time of the year, Halloween.
Yeah.
So, their Scottish outlook on Mike was great. Mike was really good. His son is awesome. I think his son's Pete's a really good guy. He's young. He's like his dad, but he's I wouldn't say he's like his dad. He is like his dad, but
he's got his dad's sense of humor. That's for sure.
He's got his dad's sense of humor.
Whether he has the gift that his dad had, I don't know, but
I think he has.
I think he can develop it though, for sure.
Yeah, I think Pete, if you're watching this today, you've definitely got the gift, his dad. But I think he's got a long way to go to learn how to use it. I think he has.
And to decide whether he needs to, I mean.
But he's got plenty of time. He's only young. He's not that old, Pete. What is he, like 26 or something?
Yeah, I don't know his exact age, but yeah, he's got to be in that ballpark. Yeah.
It's like life. One day, somebody will talk about us three about, the men of the 80 guys that used to come on here. That was strange. There was that one that wore the hat. He was an odd one. He was a right odd. So what's your plans, guys, before I end the show? What's your plans for this week?
I'm going to buy some ammunition, stock some water, and some food.
Build a wee sandbag about your house.
Find a space. Find a safe place. I put a new bolt on my door today. God, I don't know, man. Just pray and just, whatever happens.
I don't think it'll be that bad in Texas
next week too.
I'm not scared.
I don't think it'll be that bad in Texas and stuff. I think it'll be worse in Washington itself.
We are a border state, though.
The big blue cities will have
the blue cities are bad and the border states are bad. So other than that,
it's going to happen. If it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it. All you can do is lock the door and sit back and hope.
It's just a matter of how long it happens. I think there will be it's possible that we could see our first martial law. It is possible. I think it's possible that we have to shut things down and
here's what's going to make that really interesting, Tim.
Call out the National Guard.
Because just because we have a new president-elect doesn't mean that's the person that's going to be able to do those things. It has to be the president that doesn't have a brain right now. We'll have to enact that.
I think it's going to be more about reaction.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, and this is saying this for an outsider, I think a lot of people will be like, oh my God. They think of the bad actors that's in Hollywood that's got to leave. They say they've got to leave.
Yeah. Well, they're going to come here.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's leaving. You hear that all the time. I may leave.
They make those promises, but they never keep them.
No. Yeah. But there's a good chance I could leave. I wouldn't mind. But no, I hope it's a numbing kind of shock. I hope we're all kind of like numb and like.
It might take a few days for it to really sink into.
Yeah.
You'll get the other ones that they'll for the last time screaming in the middle of the road and rolling.
Yeah, I think our problem is not on the 4th or 5th. I think our problem is on the 20th of January.
Yes. To be honest with you, and I'm going to make a prediction, I do think he's going to win that, but I do think that they'll do anything not to let him in.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to turn over power to Hitler.
Yeah, look, we can only hope that it's peaceful, because when there's bad things like that happen, people get killed. And
I think we're past that. I think the world's I think our country's too messed up now, too diluted and too poisoned. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be here with a front seat watching it.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, are you going to join us on Wednesday?
Yes, I'm going to join you on Wednesday. What are we talking about this week?
We're talking about the Superstition Mountains here in Arizona. I'll send you the info I have, so the outline, so you can kind of.
Very interesting. Joey and I kind of spent a lot of our adult life there, and it's my second home. That's what made me move to Arizona.
I'll research that tonight then, because I was like,
that's amazing.
Do that with the old iPad and research. So it's the Superstition Mountains.
Yeah, that could be a good place to relocate to, Joey.
Yeah.
Yes, in a bunker.
Plenty of water. Plenty of water.
Be a place to get lost anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, even don't worry, on the election day week or whatever, even Bigfoot will be hiding.
Oh yeah. It's like when COVID hit. When COVID hit, we went to find Bigfoot up north, and dude, he was so far north. He went so far up north. We ended up doing other stuff.
We found a whole other story.
Yeah, but that ran him out. Yeah, Bigfoot will disappear for a while too. There will be no Bigfoot sightings in the next week.
Oh God, there'll be no. So guys, in the chat, remember, please check out the links in the chat. Your links are in the chat actually for your YouTube channel and stuff like that. I'll talk to you behind the scenes. Everybody have a fantastic night, and we will see you all tomorrow for Members Night. It's Members Night tomorrow night. So where I do oracle cards and stuff for the members of the show. So thank you, Tim, for coming on. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll see you all very soon.
Peace. Thanks, you guys.
Peace out.
In the darkness of the night, we send our dreams to the stars, leaving Earth behind, searching for life. Wonder if there are aliens in their cars, floating through this cosmic sea. Are we alone or just a mystery? Searching the cosmos, seeking the truth. All of our voices echo to the moon. Alien life, tales of the youth. Together we'll dance to the celestial tune. Messages whispered, caught in the winds. The universe spurs our wild romance. In this quest, a new chapter begins. Eyes are watching from afar. Will we find them, or are they just a scar? Searching the cosmos,